The year is 2016, and this is probably one of the best years for shooters. We got great games like Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2, sequels to beloved franchises and even revivals of old franchises, and also the most hated Call of Duty game came out this year, which honestly, compared to what we've gotten recently from COD, yeah, Infinite Warfare is actually not that bad. But one shooter stood out from the rest, which should have been Titanfall 2 if it didn't have that shitty release date, but Overwatch was one of the most successful shooters of that year. How though? It was a brand new IP no one knew of, other shooters were gritty while Overwatch was cartoony and silly, and what the fuck is a hero shooter? You're telling me I have to get attached to these characters not just for their looks but their playstyle? While I wouldn't say Overwatch created the hero shooter genre, to me and also many others, that game stood out so much because of its simplicity and the fact that it was something new and different. If you released a hero shooter now, you would get Concord, a game that was so dull and uncreative it went offline after 2 weeks. But back then, the only competition in the hero shooter genre was Team Fortress 2, which was a beloved game. It was just starting to get pretty old. Blizzard decided to bring some life to this genre, and oh, did they bring a lot of life to it. The first year of release, Overwatch made over $1 billion, and after 3 years still had a player count of over 50 million players. This game was so successful to the point other games started copying it, and Overwatch was successful for good reasons, cause it was fucking good. The lore and characters had life to it. The game had a nice, colorful, cartoony style that made it stand out in a sea of gray, and the gameplay for its simplicity was somehow so damn addicting. Players felt a connection to this game, which was helped by Blizzard always communicating with their community, keeping this game healthy and alive for a pretty long time. Now the year is 2019 and a sequel to Overwatch was announced. Of course, players got hyped with announcements of new modes, maps, heroes, but also bigger announcements like the fact Overwatch 1 will be combined with the sequel for players could keep their cosmetics, and the highly anticipated PvE mode with promises of a branching skill tree for every hero and unique enemies to fight. So with this game being anticipated to come out in 2020, oh, yeah, I forgot about COVID. Actually pushed that back to 2021. What could go wrong? Oh, it got delayed to 2022 now. Okay, that's fine, shit happens, but now we're getting the PvP and PvE content separately because it's taking longer than usual. That's pretty weird, but as long as we get a finished product at the end, I don't mind waiting. Oh yeah, and the full release got delayed again to 2023. Whatever, at least we got a taste of the game with early access in 2022. Finally though, on August 10th, 2023, Overwatch 2 was fully released. Or should I say Overwatch was updated, because this sequel felt more like a big update that slightly changed the look of things, added some new content, and removed content like maps that were loved by many and loot boxes, which sounds like a good thing, I know, but was replaced with an overpriced in-game store and a shitty battle pass that locked new heroes behind a paywall. The disappointment was there and almost every player felt this way, but hey, at least we're still getting that new PvE mode, right? Oh, what? You canceled the PvE mode, the only thing players had hoped for now? Then you released a half-baked version of that PvE experience as paid content? And you wonder why players are leaving your game. They gone back and added a classic mode for old players and removed the paywall for new heroes, but the damage has been done. Overwatch has completely fallen off and we need a new game to take its place, and thankfully we didn't have to wait long. Marvel Rivals is the newest and hottest hero shooter to come out of 2024 and was developed by Chinese studio NetEase Games. A game developed by a Chinese studio is really popular and loved by many? Where have I heard this before? America, do not go to war with China. I need them to keep cooking up fire-ass games, please and thank you. For real though, the popularity of Rivals cannot be undermined. In just 72 hours of the game's launch, it reached 10 million players worldwide, and on December 8th surpassed 20 million players. They are destroying Overwatch's player count right now, but why? What does Rivals do differently? Is it just a clone of Overwatch, and does it have its own standing power to last long? Well, I played enough of both games to see where Rivals excels, where Rivals compares, and where Rivals can improve. First, let's talk about the good stuff though. For sure, the reason this game is blowing up is no doubt the fact that they are using Marvel's IP, probably one of the biggest and iconic superhero brands of all all time, and thankfully they actually do a pretty damn good service with all these heroes. Not only do you have the classic and super well-known heroes like Spider-Man, Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, but you also have some lesser known heroes which I might not be too crazy about, but I do appreciate that they didn't play it safe with the selection of heroes and also chose characters that super fans who read the comics would love. And unlike other games, the designs for these characters are actually really fucking clean and super appealing to look at, especially Storm. She could fucking step on me. I don't just like these heroes for their looks. A lot of these characters, gameplay wise, are actually pretty well designed and fun to play. Sure, I don't think every hero is good. I think some characters like Captain America have pretty weak abilities and weapons, but even then, at least every hero is able to support the team one way or the other. Captain America might be pretty weak, but he does have an ultimate ability that grants movement speed and bonus health to his teammates. Jeff the Land Shark is kinda weak as well, but god, his healing and ultimate is so game changing, it is a given to have him on your team. And other heroes might have some weak aspects to them as well, but also have some abilities that make them such a strong addition to the team, which is also helped with the fact this game has a team up feature. There are heroes in this game which, if are grouped up with other specific characters, can give you a bonus ability or unique feature. For example, if you play as Jeff or Rocket Raccoon, you can team up with Groot and you're able to ride his back, which gives you extra protection and makes it easier to heal him. Or if you're Iron Man and you team up with Hulk, you're able to use a new ability as Iron Man that gives extra damage to your weapons. I would love to see more combinations and improvements to this feature in the future, but I think this feature is great. It does a wonderful job at incentivizing your team to work together, and you don't even need a mic to request a team up. You can just press a button to let your teammates know. And by the way, can we just admire the amount of polish this game has for its launch? I can't believe we're at a point in gaming where games being released at a finished state instead of being a buggy mess at launch are now being applauded for, when back then every game had to be finished and polished, like that was the bare minimum. But this game does do more than just be polished, since it's a next gen exclusive, meaning it's only playable on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. They put a lot more effort when it came to this game's art style and direction. These maps and characters look like living comic panels. The animation on here, even for something as simple as picking a character, is insane. Just look at the animation when you pick Venom in the main menu. And this game definitely uses the next gen hardware to its full advantage with its graphics, unlike other games that hold themselves back for older consoles can still play their game. I get it, no one's buying a PS5, but can we please start normalizing next gen exclusives? It's been almost 5 years since the 9th generation came out, and we're just now starting to get next gen exclusives. Now, as much as I do love these art and animations, it can sometimes get in the way when you're using the UI. Like every time you open the battle pass, you have to sit and watch this animation. There's no skipping it. And same goes when you scroll past the tournament panel. It just plays this unskippable animation as well. I do love the detail this game has, but I would like to see them clean up the UI just a little bit. And yes, you did hear that right. This game also has a battle pass. I know I hate it too, but some of the skins are actually pretty clean. The monetization doesn't seem to be too greedy, and this game isn't pay to win. No characters are locked behind a paywall, so with this game being free to play, I'm fine with it having a battle pass, even if it's a bit redundant now. Okay, wait, Overwatch also has a battle pass. Some of the heroes on here are pretty similar, and the gameplay is almost the same. Is Rivals just an Overwatch clone? Okay, kind of, but please hear me out. I actually do have my reasons on why I think Rivals is a better game. To me, Overwatch has always felt like a casual experience. The gameplay was simple, the game's balancing wasn't being taken too serious, and things like the time to kill being short and the plenty different modes they have show that Overwatch is just overall supposed to be played more casually. But Rivals so far only has a couple modes that mostly require you to play as a team. The time to kill, especially for some of the tanks, takes forever to kill, and overall it feels like this game was built to be more competitive than Overwatch, which I mean shit, this game launched with a competitive mode while Overwatch didn't. And real quick, there's nothing wrong with being a casual or competitive game. I love many games from both of these sides. It's really just the execution of these games that matter. matter. Like Overwatch has been trying to be competitive for a while now, and I think they kind of fail at being a good competitive game because of how messy the balancing of heroes is in Overwatch. New heroes like Hazard or Echo to me are just copy and weaker versions of other characters. Some of the healers are not really the best when it comes to healing, and right now this game has around 40 different characters. I'm sorry, but at some point this shit will get bloated and new players will be overwhelmed by how much they have to learn. The same shit is also happening to other hero shooters like Apex. Now Rivals launched with 33 characters, which is a lot for launch, but they are all so well designed, with them all serving some sort of unique purpose to the team. There are a lot of heroes on here that share similar abilities like double jumping and wall climbing, but I'm okay with these characters having the same abilities as long as they manage to do their own unique things as well, and these characters do exactly that. Sure, Magneto and Doctor Strange have the same ability that puts up a wall for the team, but Magneto can't put portals wherever he wants, and Doctor Strange can't just throw a fucking meteor at the other team. They both share similarities, but at the end are very different, while in Overwatch, Echo is just fairer, but worse. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Rivals actually has good healers. Holy shit, it's not like Apex where we had to wait years to get new healers, or Overwatch where literally nobody wants to play as a fucking healer. Yes, these healers do more than just heal, like Loki, who can deceive players with clones and copy the characters as well, or Cloak and Dagger, who is basically two characters in one. These heroes are actually fun to play because they're unique. They have interesting abilities that makes them not feel one-dimensional and copycat. And in Overwatch, sometimes I feel like I can just press R2 and hope something happens and not really have to try or lock in. But since Rivals is built to be played competitively, if you're not trying or working with your team, you're most likely gonna lose in all your matches. I love that this game isn't just mindless shooting. Since the time to kill is a bit slower than Overwatch, you have time to think about where to position, communicate with your team, and use your abilities to the best advantage. It feels more rewarding winning a game that's like this than like this. Now Rivals is good and all, but you know what other game was also pretty good? Overwatch. As much shit as I talk, I did like Overwatch at one point. But with the updates, they just kept on downgrading, and the same thing can happen to Rivals too. So what are some things they can learn and prevent for the future of the game? First, let's hope they have some sort of roadmap for future heroes, since my biggest problem with these other hero shooters are the bloated and unbalanced lineup of characters. I don't mind there being a lot of characters as long as they're all equally well designed and balanced. If your game has to get to the point of stealing other heroes' abilities for your new characters, that's a problem. Just keep the balancing tight. It's okay if we don't get a new hero every month. Us players can be patient as long as the content is good. And speaking of players, actually communicate with your community and listen to our needs. So far, Rivals has been doing a good job with this, but Overwatch at first was also listening to our demands until they were like, oh wait, we want money, here's a paywall for new heroes. Please Rivals, don't ever do some bullshit like this. Trust me, it will just kill your game. It's not worth the quick buck. And lastly, please Rivals, if you're gonna expand to be something more than just a hero shooter, commit to it. I mean, look at Fortnite and their venture into making their game a multi-genre platform like Roblox. Sure, at first it was kind of not liked by many, but now players are seeing the potential in it with the OG mode and the first person arsenal mode. So please Rivals, do not be scared to try anything new. Just please make it fun, and if it's gonna be a PvE mode, please don't fucking cancel it. So yeah, that's basically my review on Rivals. Been really loving this game, and I think anyone who's looking for that OG Overwatch experience should definitely check this game out. If you like this video and want to see more, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, if you really want to support me, you can follow my Twitch, join my membership, or email me for any business inquiries, which is all in the description below. Thanks for sticking around.